All right, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, fishing accomplices, good morning, happy May 4th, and welcome back to fishing. So yeah, May 4th, you know what that means. 2024, it is the Fluke opener of the year. And have no fear, because we're trying to get on those flatties today. Yeah, today is going to be the first day I actually ventured down to the South Shore this year. In case you've been wondering, I've been kind of putting it off. I thought about doing it last week when I had a little bit of time off, but a couple things popped up that kind of stopped me from doing that. But that being said, I've been really holding out for Fluke season to start making this trek. And that doesn't mean I'm just going to only be doing this, but I'll definitely be making the most of it during these initial stages of the Fluke season while it's at its, pretty hopefully strong start. So yeah, we're gonna be fishing South Shore bays right now, back bays in particular, pretty far back, where the water's a bit warmer. I am almost 99% certain there should be some Fluke around. I'm not saying it's going to be an amazing bite, but even this time last year, opening days of the season, I was finding fish. I'm hoping this goes better than last year. I actually lost a GoPro on the opening day. Found keeper Fluke, lost a camera. So hopefully this time I'm not just talking to a camera that's probably somewhere in the bottom of the bay right now, but time will tell. So stay tuned, because I hope you know what we're about to do. Get some fishing accomplished. Stay tuned. Yeah, so back bays, opening day of Fluke season, New York City waters. Water temps were about 60 degrees. We got in right at the peak tide, and I did take a brief survey of the land to see if there were any stripers around. There definitely were, and some good-looking marks too. They were not really into artificials, at least not easily. And I could have, really spent some time looking for bunker, but I told myself on this particular day I was going to focus mainly on Fluke, especially since it was like a perfect tide for this spot. We got in right at peak tide, and then it immediately started moving out, so I didn't really want to waste any time looking for bunker that may or may not have been around. Eventually, I did come across quite a few schools, but again, I felt like if I kept going back and forth, being indecisive between bass and Fluke, that's what would have made this day not turn out well, because I would have not found the bite that would have worked best. So really committed on the Fluke front to varying degrees of success. Was getting a lot of bites, but a lot of them were very finicky. Like they'd grab it, spit it out, or lay on top of it, and you'll see. For the entirety of this video, I'm fishing with Berkeley Gulp, grubs specifically, 4-inch, and I'm fishing them either on bucktails or jig heads. The bucktails were 1/2 ounce, the jig heads were 3/8 ounce, so keeping it very light. It's not very deep here. So without further delay, let's jump into the action.
There he is. Ah! That was a fluke. 100%. 100% a fluke. I had those head shakes. That was a fluke. See if he comes back. Probably not.
Did he jump on it for a bite?
He was just on there for a sec. I probably could have let him chew on it a bit longer, but some of these fish have been kind of finicky. Like they'll bite it and bite it and spit it out. It's probably small. Now I got some junk on there. Nah, just crap. That was a fish though before.
Yeah, so these fish were particularly finicky on this day. Like a lot of really small grabs, maybe not even grabs, just fish laying on it, which you'll see throughout this video. It seemed like every drift I would probably get like maybe one bite, but again, they were very non-committal. So, I usually like to let the fish hold on to it for a bit, but some of these fish would have it and then they would just immediately get off of it. So it did lead me to make some earlier than probably ideal hook sets, but, doing what I could to try and connect with the fish.
There he is. Yo! I don't think so. Oh, it is. Got to start somewhere. First fluke of the year. You're fine. All right, first fluke of the year. And many more.
What color is it?
It's white, but it's like really faded, so kind of like dull, like brownish almost.
Yeah, so after getting that fish, I did continue to work this area a bit, and I actually did get another fluke, but I didn't get it on camera. It was tiny. A lot of these fish were very small. My friend Eric was with me, and he got quite a few hits, but it was like we get maybe one, at most 2 hits per drift. So we decided to do some moving around, and I did switch up the presentation a few times, but eventually we did get into a bit more action.
All right, let's try a new jig head. New type of gulp that I've never tried before. See how this works. Looks nice. Looks really nice. A lot of these fish have been very short strikes. They'll grab it and just spit it out, so let's see what this does. You ever been checked on your kayak? Like, lice? Yeah.
That was like the second time I went out ever.
And, oh, I'm getting bit. There we go. That's a maybe little bit better. Have to be better than this. Yeah, like back when I was like 10-year-old kid, that would have been a keeper. Not anymore. All right, tried the jig head with the gulp for a while. Nothing too great, so we're back on the bucktail. Single jig. See if this can make any difference. I'm gonna say 1/2 ounce, maybe 3/8. I'm not entirely sure. It's stuff left over from last year. Oh, it's a fish. All right. Just laying on it. All right, well, Eric's got a small one. I just got bit. Yeah. Is that your first fish of the year? Yeah. All right. Start somewhere. It only goes up from here, right? No skunk today. Be nice to go home with some fish, though.
Well, at least a good bite.
Yeah. Or at least like a constant bite of action. Oh, this is it. This is it. Much better. Much better. It's not that big. It's not doormat, but it's measured. This fish is getting measured. This fish is getting a measurement. Come on, come on. All right. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I think yes. I think yes. If it were 18.5 still, I'd say 100%, but my fish senses are a little bit off. All right. He didn't even take it in the mouth. That's why he felt so much bigger. Oh, God. He's a little over 19. So he's coming home. He's coming home. He's a keeper. 19 and like a quarter.
Awesome.
All right, let's go. Hey, I'd rather lose the fish than my camera like last year.
Yeah, talking some money here. Oh, you're gonna get one of that attached to like the hitch?
Yeah, once
Put some like foam on it. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, pretty little keeper.
gonna double check.
Yeah, it's good too, but either way, it looks like it's there.
Yeah, it's a little faded at the 19 mark. But yeah, he's over. See that?
I don't see it, but if he's
That's 20. That's 19.
You're not a poacher.
No, I'm no. We're honest fishermen on this channel.
Exactly.
All right, let's get a little shot action. All right, first keeper, 2024 season proper. All right, good. We're hooked up to something. Can you imagine? All right, first keeper of the year on the bucktail. Clean over 19 inches, 19 like almost a half. We can keep at least 2 more if we get them, so let's see what we can do. All right, this tide is ripping, so this is go time. We're gonna give it everything we got right now. And if there's one keeper, there's definitely more. There he is. I think it's still head hooked. Feels not. Yeah, it's not even. Oh, you're gonna love this. Through the tail.
I saw him through the
He felt good. I was like, all right. I just got a tail hooked washcloth. Gave me the fight of his life. Yes. Little. This is the problem. They're all just laying on it. Little washcloth. All right, I'm gonna give this one more drift over here. Every time I come through, I try and say it's the last one. I keep getting bit, but we're definitely losing some of our drift, our tide, and it's slow. You know, get a bite and then nothing. It's like 1 bite per drift, and it usually doesn't hang around. A lot of them are just laying on it and just not actually taking it with their mouth.
So as the morning pressed on, the weather did start to deteriorate, as you can probably tell. The tide started to slow down, the clouds started to move in, and most importantly, the wind really started to jack up, making it very difficult to fish here. So I did move around a bit to see if I can get one last push.
Apparently Eric hooked up too. Let's see it. All right. Hell yeah. How big? 20 inches? Hell yeah. Is it any movement still, or is it like slack?
I mean, the wind is pushing like crazy. I think that's what's happening.
All right, let's see.
Here, it kind of died. I wasn't moving too fast.
All right.
Get out there in the open.
I'm gonna try. I want to see if I can make that work, because this is it for the tide. And then after that's gonna go slack pretty soon. All right, losing that tide, but let's see if we can get those fish. Was that on the Kayak?
No, it was on the go.
The old bucktail?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Feel good? No.
Yeah, so Eric hit that fish. It's been on the smaller side, but good to see some action. It really started to get a bit windy and nasty out there, as you can probably tell. So we decided to start making our way back to launch. And as we did, we checked a few spots out and finally did notice some birds working, which looked like they had some fish under them. So we decided to check that out. And originally I was expecting that there might be some bunker around, but these fish actually seem to be blowing up on a peanut bunker. Saw some really small bait. Fish were blowing up, and I decided to throw the Elias shad on my medium setup, and fortunately was able to hook up at least once.
Ooh, baby. Spring run in full effect right here. go. All right, expecting a bluefish, but I'll take it.
Yeah, after getting that bass, I was considering messing around with these fish for a little bit longer, but unfortunately, with all the insanity and the wind and getting messed around a bit, my line ended up getting tied around my trolling motor. So once that happened, I just decided to throw in the towel and call it a day. Not all too bad considering first day of the season, but left me, certainly wanting some more. All right. Yeah, that's going to do it for today. Definitely not the easiest day of fluke fishing, but for a season opener, I really cannot complain. And you know what? I think I earned it. You know what that means. We're going to finish off the seltzer review of the day or the week, what have you. This is a LaCroix watermelon. That's actually pretty pleasant, I'm not gonna lie. That's my first one of these. I just had a random can lying around. I think my dad brought it in my house. Yeah, that's pretty refreshing, to be honest. A lot of flavor too. I've never had a lot of watermelon seltzers, but I would easily put that in the 8.75 territory, so solid B+. What I'd rate today's fishing was maybe more like a B-. It was challenging, there's no way around it, but again, it's the opening of the season. Like, I knew there was fish around, and honestly, if I had decided to switch gears and just do striped bass, probably would have done a lot better in terms of, action. I think they're a lot thicker here in the South Shore bays than they are up north as of the making of this video, or at least as of the last time I fished earlier this week, but who knows? It really depends on where you are. But otherwise, I think the issue with the fluke fishing today is just how kind of hot and cold the bite was. And I don't just mean that in terms of finding the fish. The fish were around, but a lot of them would just kind of lay on it. Even the keeper I got did not take it in the mouth, which I guess technically makes it a foul hooked fish, but it is what it is. A lot of them were really kind of, not looking to bite on the lure when they had the choice. So for that, if I did it again, maybe I'd bring some fluke strips or even some proper bait like squid or perhaps spearing, just to see if that would entice the fish a bit more. But otherwise, I'm happy with it. I'm happy to bring a fish home. A lot of these fish, were biting best when the tide was moving, but my friend Eric stuck his keeper when the tide was pretty much moving towards slack. So, water temps were about 60 degrees, certainly warm enough to hold the fish. And we made the most of it. So that's how it went today, and hopefully next time I go fluking and get a bit more consistent action, but can't complain. So thanks for checking it out. Just the start of a very hopefully productive fluke season. Catch the next one. Goodbye from Fishin'.